Good morning, all. Welcome to Rugby Chat. Yeah, a little bit late today, and had a week off last week as we were getting ready for the club rugby season here in New Zealand. And if you're interested in why we're like this, because I got some big news coming up in a few moments after our Super Rugby preview and review of last week's games. But I am here by myself today. Mike's away again, and hopefully we'll hear back from him during the show. But so what we'll do is we'll just jump straight into it because I really do want to talk about these two, and we'll start doing what we do every other Tuesday. So if I bring up our screen, of course it was week 8 last week, and some interesting results there. Started off on Friday night with the Chiefs getting up over the Reds, top of the table clash up there in the Waikato, and 27-15. It was a tight battle there in that first half, but the weather sort of favoured the Chiefs more, and they got up and did the bizzo by 27 points to 15 in that second half. It was an okay game. But then we went over to the North Harbour Stadium, and for the first time in their history, the Moana Pacifica side got back-to-back wins, winning 45 points to 28 over the New South Wales Waratahs. And, words just don't describe him, really. Artie Savea was just a magician again. He's not All Black captain this year. We don't know what the selectors are looking at, but I reckon he could easily lead the All Blacks to major victories over the Scots and the French in this July test window. Meanwhile, over there in Suva, for the first time, they've normally played in Lautoka, but for the first time, the Crusaders played in Suva against the Drua. Was expecting a bit of a better performance by Fiji there. At home, they tend to turn it on, but the Crusaders, they went there with the actual, one of their best squads, unlike other teams that play the smaller teams who decide to play a B team. But the Crusaders went there with to get the points, and of course they did 31 points to 14. And to my good mate Jeff Alley, I'm still a bit gutted by the 19 points to 18 defeat by my mighty Hurricanes to the evil empire of the North, the Blues. This game could have gone either way. The question is, why keep going for 7 points? If you turn down 3 kicks, that's 9 points, people. They've got to actually start taking these penalty shots, because I tell you, it's getting quite frustrating when they're only 10 metres out. Okay, sure, they can go for a try, but, with the way lineouts work nowadays, it's a bit of a worry because, a lot of times they're not throwing it in straight, or they're losing the ball, or they're knocking it on. Take the 3 points, come back. You got plenty of time in a game to score these points. So, hey, the Blues, they're champions again. They've got their second win of the season, all but against the Hurricanes twice. It'll be interesting to see how they go up against Moana when we talk about it later. And then meanwhile, the round finished off with the Force hosting the Highlanders. Now, the Highlanders were looking good, but they just seem to have fallen off when they made all their bench changes. Sometimes, again, you've got to wonder why make the changes if it's not injury related. Why change? Because you lose all your structure and everything like that around the match. So, but the Force, they are making Perth a bit of a fortress, and they got up to get back into that top 6 to be 29-20 winners over the Highlanders. So, as I said, in the top 6, if we have a look at who the bottom teams are there at the moment, we've got the Hurricanes sitting there in 7th place on 15 points on point differential against Moana Pacifica, who are at the moment making every post a winner. The Highlanders really did need that win over in Perth. They dropped down to 9th on 12. The Blues are off the bottom of the table now with their second win of the season on 11 points. And then the Drua are down there on 7 points, which doesn't look good because they have a few away games still to come, and we know how they all perform on the road. If we have a quick look at then the top 6, as you can see there, sure, the Chiefs and the Crusaders are doing well there, 26 and 24 points respectively. The Queensland Reds, they were my sort of outside Aussie team for the season. They're sitting pretty there on 23. But when you look at the next 3, the Force, Brumbies and the Waratahs, well, they're only 5 points clear of the 7th place Hurricanes. And this week, of course, the Western Force will have a bye. So they could easily drop down to 7th or 8th place. So it's still a very, very tight table up at the top of the of the rankings. So it'll be a how can I put it? A very brave person at this stage, and as we come into week 9 of how many rounds have we got? 16. So we're already halfway through it to pick that top 6 because it is a tight battle, and at the end of the day, if you start picking up these home wins, you could easily do well. But if you start picking up those away wins, I think you'll do a lot better. I'll just have a quick look here and see who has commented. Okay, it's from, yes, he said he was going to be floating around. Moana on fire, Chiefs going to be hard to topple this year. Well, let's see what happens, Mike, because as I said, it's only we're only up to round 9, we're only halfway through the season, and a lot can change. Injuries, suspensions, etc. So we'll see how that all progresses. If you do have any comments about the rubbish that I am talking, please throw it in the comments and we'll share it with the rest of the world, so I'm not the only one reading it. So okay, we'll head off now to this weekend's games, and round 9 kicks off here in my beloved Wellington at the stadium, and it's the Hurricanes taking on the Crusaders at 7 o'clock. The weather is meant to be okay. At the moment, it's a bit stormy and wet out there. But, wow, it is a classic battle, this one, the Canes versus the Crusaders. And I tell you, well, I'm going to go to the Hurricanes, but I think it's going to be at least 7 points or less. It's going to be a tight tussle. There's still players coming back for the Hurricanes from injury. And I don't know. I think we'll be in for this will be, to me, the game of the round, because let's start it off with a rip roarer, and of course daylight saving in New Zealand has now finished, so there will be a lot more dewiness on the ball and stuff like that. So it's going to be who handles that slippery pill a bit better than the other team. So I'm very, very happy because, as I said, Mike's on the road today, and he totally agrees with me. Canes for that one, even though he is from mid-Canterbury. So there you go. Both of us are going for the Canes. After that, though, over there in Australia at 9:30, straight after the Canes versus the Crusaders, we do have the Waratahs taking on the table-leading Chiefs. The Waratahs have had two extremely bad weeks here in New Zealand, going down to the Chiefs and then to Moana Pacifica. But it was only a couple of weeks ago that the Hurricanes demolished them, and then the Moana Pacifica got their win. So now they're up against the table-topping Chiefs. Waratahs at home. Oh, you know, as I said, the home games matter, but I think the Chiefs are going to get up here. I think they're going to teach the Waratahs that, even though we call them the Warra Rebels because half the team are the ex-Melbourne Rebels, I think we'll have to go for the Chiefs there, and I think they might actually end up winning quite handsomely by 12 or more points. So however Mike feels about that one, I don't know, but he did just say that the Chiefs are going to be hard to beat. So I'm going to guess he's going to go the Chiefs easily. And as soon as I say Chiefs easily, Mr. Sheehan comes back and says Chiefs easily. So we're both, so far we're 2-2. So okay, we'll go then. As I said, we've got the Chiefs and the Waratahs. I mean, the Waratahs will be looking at coming back after those two defeats on the road. Yeah, no, I'm going to stick with the Chiefs. There we go. And then, of course, we've got the battle that everyone will be going, it's the greatest game since sliced bread. And that's the Blues taking on Moana Pacifica at Eden Park. It's a home game for the Blues. Is it a home game for Moana Pacifica as well? I tell you one thing I will be looking at in this match at 4:30 on Saturday afternoon is that who will have the most fans there? Will it be Moana Pacifica? Will it be the Blues? I mean, they get 8,000-9,000 people at North Harbour Stadium for this. That's probably double what the Blues get for their games. So it is a new Battle of Auckland. I'm amazed they haven't called it the Battle of the Bridge Take 2 with Auckland taking on North Harbour normally. But it would be interesting to see what happens with Tuipulotu in the judiciary this week after that shoulder tackle on clear out on Isaiah Walker-Leweri in the Hurricanes game. I got a feeling he might get a couple of weeks at tackle school. So in saying that, I don't think the occasion is going to get to Moana Pacifica. And I think, I just looked at my comments here, and and literally I'll just say what I was going to say, but Mike Sheehan got in first. If they can repeat their last two performances, they will win. Head's telling me the Blues, though, says Mike. Well, okay, to keep it interesting, I'm going to go Moana Pacifica to get up over the Blues. And I think it's going to be a battle royal. There's going to be some huge hits in this game. But I just think the physicality of the Moana Pacifica team will overcome. And if they can get that up through the middle and out to their speedy wings, I think Moana Pacifica will get up and do that. So there we go. So we're finally broken the deadlock. I'm going Pacifica. Mr. Sheehan is going for the Blues, and we'll see what happens there. So anyway, after that, I know which. Well, Pellegrini bolter for the ABs. I don't think so, Mike, because he's Australian. As far as I am aware. So, yeah. And is Moana Pacifica part of the New Zealand setup? That's the good question, because, there's some guys in the Moana Pacifica team that, what do you call it? That are putting their hands up for AB selection, but they are New Zealanders. And if you really look at it, Moana Pacifica is New Zealand's pseudo Melbourne Rebels side, aren't they? So, but no, Pellegrini, as far as I'm aware, he is an Australian, so I can't see him being in the ABs at all. He'll be way down the list. So anyway, we'll come to the game that I'm sure that Mr. Shem will be extremely excited about. And this is the Highlanders Drua match down there underneath the grandstand, underneath the roof at Forsyth Bar on Saturday at 7 o'clock. Well, yeah, you've got a feel for the Fijian Drua, don't you? Yeah, I mean, what do they have to do to win on the road? Now, part of me goes, my brain goes, well, really, you can't. Law of averages, they've got to win on the road sometime. Mike Sheehan believes it's the Highlanders all day, every day. Yeah, I know, but I don't think. Yes, it was. I can't think of his name now. Number 8. But he. I think the Highlanders will be too strong at home under the roof. The only benefit here for the Drua is even if it's wet or rainy or cold, they are under a roof, so we'll still have a dry track. And I believe, I think it might be a toss of the coin going on here. Flick. No, I think the Highlanders will get up. I think the poor old Drua will continue to have that dismal away run away from home. So I'm going to go the Highlanders to win this by 12 plus. I think at the end of the day, they've had a couple of weeks away. They've had a lot of travel. And yeah, I think the Highlanders will get up for that one there. And then, of course, we'll end the round with the Reds taking on the Brumbies at Suncorp Stadium on Saturday night around 9:30. And yeah, I think I'll just quickly go back because he's a bit slow with his typing today. It was a stupid, reckless play. And he reckons Mike is going to reckon his Highlanders are going to do it. I think he reckons they'll do it in true running Fijian running rugby style. The player we're talking about will get is the number 8. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but if you know, throw it in the comments. Put me out of my misery. But yeah, I'll have to disagree with Mike there. So basically now we're totally gone against the head. So let's go to the final one and see if who will pick who here, because at the moment I've gone for 2. Mike's gone for 2, and yeah, I think the Reds and the Brumbies. Now this could be an interesting match. The Brumbies have been a bit, I don't know, not Brumby, if you understand what I mean by that. But at home, the Reds have been performing really, really well. The Brumbies will have a point to prove. They will want to be the top dog in Australia. So this could rival the Hurricanes Crusaders game completely to round it off. Yeah, Mike. I don't know. What do you reckon? Brumbies, for me, fresh and ready to go. Well, you've made my decision for me now then, haven't you, Mike? So I'm going to go for the Reds. I'm going to go the Reds to win by 6 points. There you go. Why? Because I think they would have learned to start taking those penalty kicks. They're one of the teams that just kept on going for the corner, and I just think that's where that one's going to end up. So the bye week this week, I'll just bring that up. Here we go, people. The bye week is the Western Force, as I said. So they'll be celebrating. Apparently, most of the players are going up to what do you call it? Up the Swan River to a few wineries to sit back, relax for a week, recharge those bodies before they come back in a couple of weeks' time when they play. And I can tell you that they'll be hosting the Hurricanes over there in Perth. So if the Hurricanes can get up this week, they'll be fighting for that top 6 place, and the winner of that match in a couple of weeks' time will be sort of laughing all the way to the bank. So that is our Super Rugby stuff. Just have a quick drink. So the other thing is, you're probably wondering why I'm all Buller Rugby and West Coast Rugby attired today. Well, starting this week is the combined Buller and West Coast Rugby Jubilee Trophy competition. Last played in 2018, I think it was. And in that tournament, the two unions combined, and we had a final where Kiwi played Westport, and Kiwi got up in that competition to win. Now, we started a competition last week in association with clubrugby.nz, and I tell you, it went off great guns. We've set up our own tipping competition. That's right. You can have a tip on the outcome of the matches. You can pick who's going to win. You can pick the margin for bonus points, 1 to 13, 14 to 24, 25 plus, or you can pick a draw. And the way it all works out is I'll just throw that in the comments so people can see where to go. There we go. I've just stuck that in our comments. But basically, go to the link, which is in the comments below. And we thank Facial Fears for providing us the access to do this. And you just click on that link in the comments, put in your sign up. You can have a couple of entries if you like. Use one from work, one from home. And basically, the Buller Rugby Union and West Coast, through the website Might Have Red and White, we're giving away prizes throughout the year. So the Buller Rugby Union have got some Heartland merchandise to give away as spot prizes. Might Have Red and White Facebook page, we're giving away Might Have Red and White West Coast merchandise throughout the season, and we're still working on a total grand prize. So basically, the competition, as I said, starts this weekend. It is an awesome competition to watch, and as I said, we've got two proud unions going head to head here. We've got from the Buller region, White Star, Old Boys, Westport, and Old Boys and Westport, and then from the West Coast Union, you got Blaketown, Greymouth Marist, South Westlands, and Kiwi, and then of course you've also got Grey Valley. But now Grey Valley this year have combined with the Buller Club, Reefton, to put together a combined squad. So mainly because of player numbers throughout the country, it is all literally a sign of the times, you could say. And but it will all kick off. All the games kick off at 2:30. With South Westland taking on Westport down there at Ross Domain. Greymouth Marist will be taking on Wests, last year's West Coast club champions, who finally tipped up the Kiwi Rugby Club's 94-game winning streak to take out the title in the grand final there last year. Then we'll have a battle of the Buller Boys, White Star taking on Old Boys at Victoria Square. And then the combined Grey Valley Reefton team will be hosting the powerhouse Kiwi at Reefton Racecourse on to round out the round one. And Blaketown, well, they get the bye in round one because there's 9 teams in it. But I tell you, if you want to have a bit of fun, literally, and maybe win the odd prize and all that sort of stuff, it'll be quite good because Mr. Sheehan has said to me here that he's not 100% sure about the intel on all the clubs over there on the West Coast, but you know, we are huge supporters of the Coast Rugby, whether it be Buller or West Coast, and we're here to promote it. And yeah, I think it would be an awesome competition if you join in. We've got about 40, 50 odd people already in the competition. And if we have a look at how the Wellington Club Rugby comp on clubrugby.nz go, literally, if you go to them or the Buller Rugby website or the westcoastrfu.com website, you'll see links there for the tipping comp. Just tick on that and it will show you how the point structure over that competition will work. So, as I said, we've got some awesome prizes to give away. You know, we're going to have flags, we're going to have shirts, we're going to have coffee cups, we're going to have bottle openers, because it's always important to have a bowl opener. But we're going to have really awesome prize packs to give away throughout the season, which runs for about 9 weeks. It will culminate with the top 2 qualifiers from Buller and West Coast playing off against each other. So for the Jubilee Trophy, and then the competition won't finish there. It will actually go to a Buller comp where they will have playoffs who plays off for the Buller Senior Shield, and of course the famous Taylorville Wallsend Trophy at the West Coast will be contested in a playoff series there as well. So as I said, get down to your clubs on the coast this weekend because it's going to be quite a humdinger. So as I said, that's about that was my big Yahoo. What else has been happening around the world? The Black Ferns, well, they've got up and gone back to back, played 10 times in Singapore. They've won 10 times in Singapore, and now they've gone back to back in Singapore, winning the Singapore Sevens. The New Zealand men, wow, they've scraped into the World Championship finals, which are going to be in LA in a couple of weeks. But seeing the draws coming out, wow, I think they've got something like, who are they? They've got teams like, I'll just quickly get to it because my brain is not working well today. Okay, here we go. New Zealand will be playing against in the men's at on the 3rd and 4th of May. There's only 2 pools happening, and that it will be Fiji. Oh, sorry. In Pool A, you got Argentina, South Africa, France, and Great Britain in the men, and in Pool B, Fiji, Spain, Australia, and New Zealand. Now, in the women's side of the draw, you will have in Pool A, New Zealand, Canada, Japan, and Great Britain, and in Pool B, Australia, France, USA, and Fiji. Now, why am I saying all of that? Because the Sevens World Cup, as we know it, is no longer. I don't know if you caught up with all of that, but it's a case scenario of, how can I put it? Money. That's all it is, really. I always thought that you had to have a World Cup to have it be an Olympic sport. Well, that's what they told us early on. And the problem there is now that they aren't going to have a World Cup. And that's why New Zealand and Argentina won the World Series last weekend in Singapore, because they'll run those competitions, and then the final competition, which will be shared around every year, will be classed as the World Championship. That's why we've only got 8 teams, so you've got to be in that top 8 at the end of the all the series around the world to be in the World Championship finals. So this year it will be held in LA, and still haven't actually seen how the draw goes, but I'm sure it will just go as normal. But the top two teams or whatever will go through to semi-finals, etc., etc., etc. So keep an eye out for that. That happens in about 3 weeks' time, 3-4 weeks' time, and we'll go on from there. So what else do we have to talk about? As I said, jump onto the. I'll see if I can actually get that in the what do you call it? In the link as well. We do have a new Facebook page for all the news at what do you call it? At West Coast. Go over there, give it a like. It's growing really nicely. We've only had the new page going for a few weeks, and we're already hitting 30,000 people following it. So thank you to all of those people that have joined up to the new page for West Coast Rugby. And I've also go and join up the Buller page because, like I said, got some awesome gear to give away thanks to the Buller Rugby Union for our tipping comp. Also, we will be, as I said, I'm trying to, because all the club rugby started around the country, and Mike Sheehan wants to give a shout out to his Southern Rugby Club, from two in the Loose City Seeds combined country comp down there at Mid Canterbury. I'm sure that he'll be going to a few of those games this year to support his mighty Southern. But I tell you, it's so it's getting to the interesting side of life, I suppose you could say. We had the first round from Wairarapa Bush last weekend, some big upsets there. Of course, King Country have started. So it's all on. I mean, for the next 6 months, it's just going to be club rugby, club rugby, club rugby. So we may need to bring a special other episode, not just all about Super Rugby or Heartland or whatever, but we might have to start doing some club rugby talks and hopefully get some guests on to talk about it instead of just listening to me rattle on for half an hour. So, as I said, get down to all your games this weekend. Go to the, as I said, in the links below, sign up for your chance to win some awesome prizes, see how good you are. I'll just give you a tip. On the tipping competition, you get 2 wild cards to play each week, throughout the season. And looking at how the Wellington Club comp went at clubrugby.nz, one guy there, Hunties, he decided he would play his wild card in round 1. And wow, I'll tell you, he hit the jackpot. He got everything right except for one game. But if you get all the games right, you get 10 bonus points. But the thing was, he dropped one game, but he got all his margins correct. So he ended up with 22 points. But he played his wild card. So he was our early leader in the clubrugby.nz Wellington Club comp. Again, if you go to their website, you can still join in. So we run the same points structure for this Jubilee Trophy. So whether you miss out this week's games, you still have a chance to actually get up there and be title contenders and be our first inaugural tipping comp winner for the Buller West Coast Premier Competition. So as I said, get in there, join up. It's free, and you can use any username you like. We just ask you to be a bit polite about the names you use, because if you get a bit overzealous with your username, we will kick you off. So that's as simple as that. But otherwise, what will happen is also during the season, when we do spot prizes for, awesome tipster of the week, or you just missed out tipster of the week, we will contact you via our Facebook pages to ask you to message us. You'll have 24 hours to get back to us to claim your prizes. And but otherwise, I think it's going to be fun. It's going to interact with both unions, with all their fans and everything like that. So get over there, give the page a like, join up the tipping comp, and yeah, really, I'm buzzing for it. I think it's going to be awesome, and that's about it, really. Good luck with all your other tips this week, everyone, on Super Rugby. Good luck to all the club teams starting out this week or continuing their competition this week. And until, you never know, we might be back talking more club rugby later in the week. But if we do, we'll see you then. If not, we'll see you next Tuesday. Cheerio all, and Rugby United.